Welcome to the Straight to Jail podcast, written and produced by Brian Herring. Chapter 21, The Eclipse. The Eclipse was the kind of club that catered to people who could buy their way into heaven or hell, whichever suited their mood for the night. Neon lights pulsed like a heartbeat from inside the building, bathing the street in hues of purple and blue. A long line of clubgoers stretched around the block, eager to rub elbows with the city's dirtiest money. Johnny pulled their stolen car into a dark alley a block away, killing the engine. The three of them sat quietly for a moment, the low thrum of bass vibrating in the distance.
This place is a front, huh?
Kyle asked, leaning forward with a cigarette dangling from his lips. He squinted through the windshield at the glowing sign.
Looks like it doubles as a damn disco ball.
Listen up.
Johnny said, snapping his fingers to get their attention.
Ramirez said Luis Santos runs the operation here. If we get to him, we get a line on the broker. Let's stick to the plan I talked about on the way here.
And what is the plan again?
Kyle asked, feigning confusion to draw Johnny's ire. Tony chuckled darkly from the back seat.
You're the distraction, dumbass.
Kyle froze, his cigarette halfway to his mouth.
Wait a minute. What?
Johnny turned in his seat, a smirk creeping onto his face.
You heard him. You're loud, unpredictable, and too stupid to stay out of trouble, which makes you perfect. While you make a scene, Tony and I get upstairs, find Santos, and get what we need.
Ugh. Kyle groaned, slumping back into his seat.
You assholes better buy me a beer after this. And if I get shot, I'm haunting you both.
We'll burn some sage or something. Anything to get rid of the smell.
Tony said wryly, checking his weapon.
You'll be fine. You're too stubborn to die anyway.
Damn right I am.
Kyle muttered, flicking his cigarette out the window and opening the door.
All right, let's get this shit show started.
The music hit like a wall as they entered the club. The air was thick with sweat, smoke, and the faint scent of overpriced cologne. Bodies packed the dance floor, moving to the pounding bass like a single organism under the glow of shifting lights. Kyle went straight for the bar, pushing past people with a cocky swagger that earned him more than a few dirty looks. Johnny and Tony hung back, blending into the shadows near a staircase guarded by two massive bouncers.
We better sell this.
Tony mumbled.
He will.
Johnny replied.
He's got a talent for pissing people off.
As if on cue, Kyle climbed onto the bar, wobbling slightly as he held his arms out like a conductor.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he shouted over the music, his voice carrying through the club.
who wants to buy me fucking a drink?
The crowd turned to look at him, half amused, half annoyed.
Hey!
The bartender yelled something, but Kyle ignored him, grabbing a bottle of expensive liquor from behind the counter.
To the good life!
Kyle bellowed, popping the cork and taking a long swig straight from the bottle.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Tony groaned, shaking his head.
Now who wants to get fucked?
Johnny smirked.
Told ya.
The bouncers were already moving toward the bar, their expressions murderous. Kyle spotted them, grinned like a lunatic, and leaped off the counter, sending bottles crashing to the floor.
Come get me, big boys! Hee hee!
Kyle yelled, weaving through the crowd like a man possessed. People screamed and scattered, chaos erupting as the bouncers chased him through the club.
Okay, that's our cue.
Johnny said. He and Tony moved quickly toward the staircase, slipping past the distracted guards. Upstairs, the atmosphere changed. The pounding bass faded to a low hum, replaced by the murmur of quiet conversations and the clink of glasses. The second floor was far more exclusive, a VIP lounge bathed in soft blue light, with leather couches and tables littered with expensive booze and drugs. Johnny spotted their target near the back, Luis Santos, a wiry man in an expensive suit, laughing loudly with a group of well-dressed men. A briefcase sat on the table in front of him, and two bodyguards loomed nearby, their eyes scanning the room. Tony tapped Johnny on the arm.
I'll circle around. You take the lead.
Johnny nodded, straightening his jacket and stepping forward. He walked with purpose, ignoring the curious glances from the other VIPs. Santos noticed him as he approached, his smile fading into a wary frown. He could tell he was the leader. Johnny took a seat right across from him.
Can I help you?
He said, voice tinged with surprise. Johnny didn't stop. In one smooth motion, he pulled his gun and pressed it against Santos's knee under the table, his expression calm.
We're gonna have a little chat,
Johnny said quietly.
and you're gonna tell me everything you know about the broker.
Santos froze, his eyes darting to his bodyguards who started to move.
Don't,
Tony said from behind them, his gun already drawn.
unless you want to find out how fast I can pull this trigger.
The guards hesitated, their hands twitching near their holsters. Santos held up a hand, signaling them to stand down.
You have no idea who you're messing with.
He replies.
Oh, we've got a pretty good idea.
Then John's voice turned to cold ice.
Now you're gonna tell us where the broker is, or I start redecorating this place with pieces of your knee.
Santos swallowed hard, beads of sweat forming on his forehead.
There's a shipment
Luis Santos blurted out.
tomorrow night at the docks. It's big. Guns, drugs, everything. The broker's men will be there to oversee it. That's all I know, I swear.
Johnny exchanged a glance with Tony, who nodded slightly. It wasn't much, but it was a lead.
Thanks for the tip.
Johnny said, his voice flat. He pulled the gun back and stood up, keeping his eyes on Santos. Tony backed away, his weapon still trained on the guards.
Stay put, fellas. You don't want to follow us.
Downstairs, Kyle was pinned to the bar by a bouncer, grinning through a bloody lip.
Hey guys,
Kyle said cheerfully.
how'd it go upstairs? You get what we need?
Yeah, we got it.
Johnny said, stepping forward and pulling his gun, leveling it at the bouncer's head. The man froze, his grip on Kyle loosening as he raised his hands slowly.
Easy, big guy. We were just leaving.
Johnny said coldly. Tony could see armed men coming slowly from upstairs, guns strapped on them. He knew they should have only moments to get out of there. It would take them a minute to make it through the thick crowd of people. The bouncer shot a glare at Johnny, but didn't move.
That's what I thought.
Johnny muttered, grabbing Kyle's arm and pulling him upright.
Now let's get the hell out of here before this turns into a bloodbath.
Kyle staggered to his feet, brushing himself off with a bloody grin.
You guys always know how to make an exit.